on? Miguel Lloyd, host of Life Full Circle Radio, and we're jumping in here on a Thursday because next Monday I will not be available. I might talk about when I'm not available, and I might not. We'll see. But I won't be here next Monday, so we want to make sure we get one in because last week we didn't get anything in. And you know, here's the thing: you wake up every day, and it's something else. So we're gonna talk about whatever something else happened in the last few days. So there's that. All right, check us out on social platforms. We're right now live on Twitch, Facebook, as well as YouTube. And right now, if people don't know, you better get your Facebook life together because, I don't know much longer we're going to be rocking over there. Super producer.
Hello. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. So Facebook is, for people who don't know, Facebook is really doing these social media streets real dirty. So if you do, this is a public service announcement. If you're going live on Facebook after 30 days, it's going to be gone. So you better make sure you're saving it if you think some of that stuff is super sweet and you want to repurpose that content and do whatever you want with it. Because if you go back later and say, hey, man, I had this great stream a month ago, 6 months ago, you can be like, crickets is nowhere to be found. So I would recommend, this is my marketing moment early on in the show, make sure you start doing some of that stuff, putting it up here on the YouTubes and the other social platforms that really want your business. What's going on? The baby's birthdays was yesterday?
Yes. Everybody's favorite gremlins turned 4. And then they had their birthday party on Saturday. And this is their first time in school where the teachers are very clear about you need to send an invite for everybody. And this mom forgot to put an RSVP deadline on the invite. Which was dumb, so I'm still getting responses, but I'm happy the kids have friends and they're gonna do stuff, and I'm looking forward to Saturday.
It's cool. Basketball, my favorite sport. I like the way they dribble up and down the court. That's all I do. That's my life.
I can't wait for the summer when they're here. We're getting a new wagon just to go to the Wild World of Sports at Disney. We're getting a wagon.
Okay, yeah. And both of them out there hooping. They both getting it done. So, all right, I'm going to let you drive early on this thing. I'm not going to pull up your screen right now because you got us on the screen. So you let me know when you're ready to start driving this train because that's the new tool we have discovered. You got the driver's seat every nows and agains.
Well, I'm just realizing I'm using the Rolling Stone place and can't use that. Hold on 1 second. Go back to a one shot.
Go back to the shot. So as it's pulling up, the word of the day, ladies and gentlemen, is tariffs, and it looks like this clown is not going to stop with this tariff thing. And if somebody I saw today, it said bottom line.
The word of the day was going to be groceries.
What'd you say?
The word of the day was going to be groceries. That's what we're going to be talking about. Our very first story. Let me just make sure this is not going to be some pay for play crap.
Oh, it's going to pop up. It is what it is.
Happening. But Trump did a most recent. Of course it is. I don't know why with news stories now they don't just post a story. It's always like a weird thing where still looking for a good story, the way to go through the story.
Yeah, it's all good. So as we're talking about what's going on with tariffs, when we look at the definition of tariffs, a tariff is a tax imposed by a government on goods imported from another country, often used to protect domestic industries to generate revenue. And as I look at this thing and the way he's playing around with it, you go ahead and jump into our tariff conversation. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you, my man.
So before this is kind of tariff related. But Donald Trump had something yesterday called Liberation Day. I'm still not 100% sure what Liberation Day is, but during his Liberation Day speech in the White House Rose Garden, the president announced sweeping new tariffs on goods around the globe, including those from long-standing U.S. allies, and we will get into that. As he wrapped his discussion of the numbers, Trump zeroed in on the word groceries. It's such an old-fashioned term, he said, but a beautiful term, groceries, he mused. It's sort of it's a bag with different things in it. And to normal Americans, he's making it seem like groceries is some old-fashioned term, but all this highlighted is you have zero in common with the everyday Americans. Right. We already knew that, but this more and more highlights to your MAGA followers that you don't know anything about them, their lives, anything, to think there's something as common as groceries. Everybody uses the word groceries. It's not new. So for him to
Right.
make it seem like, oh, it's just an old-fashioned timey word, the left is just using that. The liberals, they don't know how to go to the store, blah blah blah. It just shows how out of touch he is. And I'm looking on Twitter and I'm looking on social media, and I more and
You
more
still
see that a
hanging out on
lot of,
Twitter? You still hanging out on
huh?
Twitter? You still hanging out on
Yeah,
Twitter?
still hanging out on
I
Twitter.
can't do it.
Well,
I've
let me tell you
deleted it
why
from my
though.
phone. It's gone. Go ahead.
It's not for politics. It's where I get my White Lotus recaps and they commentary. It's where
You
I get my
go
Real
to
Housewives.
Threads. You got to change your habits. Go to Threads. Threads is giving you the same Twitter energy. But go ahead.
Yeah, I don't want to go to the Goodwill of social media right now, so I'm just gonna stick
Whatever.
with until until stuff gets better. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, and then so we can now go into the tariff. So this whole speech was a part of the tariffs conversation, and Donald Trump has basically stated that all countries, no matter if they've done something good or bad to us, will all be charged a tariff. And even if, let's say, a country
I
like
guess there's two countries that weren't charged tariffs.
who
Russia and North Korea. Go.
is that real?
Yes.
Oh my god! But Cambodia was. That's what I'm saying. Like Cambodia. Okay, I'm annoyed now because Cambodia, who I don't even know what we get from Cambodia, but it is on the list that any goods from Cambodia
Look at the
is going to
tag
be
of your
charged a
shirt.
tariff.
You never know. Look at the tag of your shirt. You never know.
This
This is my day
is
to interrupt Kia. So y'all just want y'all to know that's what we're doing today. Go ahead.
That's fine. So Cambodia was getting charged 3.3% tariffs. They are now getting charged 13.3%. Most countries only got an increase of 10%. Some countries got a high of like a 50% increase on tariff. Let's just be real. Canada, they don't mess with us no more. We don't mess with them. They don't mess with us. That relationship is now completely severed. They are really, really not on our side anymore.
Of course not.
Mexico,
Why should they be? Well,
I mean,
it's like you have picked on our closest neighbors and said and hit them with the F bomb. And Canada's like, okay, F you too. Take your little nasty alcohol, send it on back. Good luck when you're trying to build these houses with all these trees. Good luck with your steel and all of this, that, and the third. And
I
so
saw white men I saw white men today on somebody's roof in my neighborhood putting on a roof. They didn't know what they were doing. It was the most hilarious. They were trying to carry. I'm not exaggerating this to be funny. Normally, again, it's a bunch of Hispanic guys on the roof. They smoking their cigarettes while they doing work. Got their music blasting. Today, it was
yep.
4 Hispanic guys on the roof and 3 white guys at the bottom trying to carry a piece of plywood because when you make a roof, you have to do the plywood thing first if the wood is damaged. They didn't even know how to carry it. They didn't even know how to get it up the ladder to them. And I'm like, why are y'all out here? Y'all know what y'all doing? Y'all about to have these people's roof looking like it's made out of Legos, like it's made out of Tinker Toys. Why are you up here?
I'm really
You don't know what you're doing.
yeah. I'm at that point. If I start seeing too many white guys on the roofs fixing roofs, I'm calling my insurance company. Like, I need some extra
No,
cash because I don't know if this is gonna be right.
it's
I
not
don't know
gonna
if
be
this is gonna
right.
be. I don't think this is gonna
Not
be
going
right.
to be right.
You know,
But yeah,
we joke about it, but it's wild where we at right now. What you got on your screen? Let me see.
Canadians are continuing to boycott U.S. products. They're basically and not only are they boycotting U.S. products, they now have a travel warning in Canada because apparently there have been at least 10 or 15 people who came here to the U.S. for whatever reason, business reasons, family purposes, whatever, and got scooped up in ICE and had to fight to get out of ICE custody. One woman, it took her 9 days to get out of ICE custody to be like, no, I was here for a funeral. I wasn't here trying to overstay my visa. I was here for a funeral. I just want to go back home. I don't give nothing. I don't want to. I will never come back to the States ever again. I do not care. But every country has a travel warning for their citizens. Like if you go to the U.S., we can't help you come back if you get stuck here. You know, and this is a little bit of a jump from the tariffs, but there's actually a gay hairdresser who's now in El Salvador, and they can't get him back. He got roped up as an MS-13 gang member. He was never convicted. He was never charged. He just has tattoos that are kind of similar to theirs, but he's a hairdresser. Got scooped up at his job, taken to one of the largest jails in Venezuela, in El Salvador, and we can't bring him back. And the White House is like, yeah, that was an accident, and we're sorry, but we can't bring him back. We don't even know exactly where he's located in this prison.
We are this you know it's and it's really flooding the zone. Now he's controlling the press pool where the only people that can be there in this press pool are who they handpick right now to be in the press pool. So we getting information, secondhand knowledge. They're rubbing it in our face like 12-year-old kids. And it's every day now. You had Cory Booker who stood up there for 25 hours, whatever. To hey man, what else? What else is there to do? At this point, the attention economy, which is going on. Jasmine Crockett out here doing what she's got to do. Hey man, these your people who got us in this situation. Go ahead.
Cory Booker can kiss my brown butt.
Why?
The reason why I say that is because you guys stop doing these kind of stunts for a Guinness Book of World Record or stunts and shows. Do what your constituents want. Stop being nice. Stop being respectful. That's when you go to
What do
these
you think they're supposed to do? What are the Democrats supposed to do right now?
These people tell them to go F themselves if they say something stupid.
Here's what the Democrats did successfully. They didn't let Elon Musk win that judge seat in Wisconsin.
They sure didn't.
So when you start talking about legislatively, there's not a lot folks can do right now besides when this stuff pops up and ironically some sort of election pops up in April of 2025. Like now you're throwing these elections in here way off cycle to try to slip people through. But no, people paying attention to it now, especially when you want to go up and throw a bunch of money up in these races to try to cause havoc.
And even in District 6 here in Florida, there was a race for the empty Senate seat left by, I think his name is Mike Waltz. It was an area where Trump won by 30 points. He's won it hands down 30 points. The person running to replace Mike Waltz, who I think is awful, he only won by 3 points. It was that close. People are that fed up where you have, Trump areas that he won by these huge margins are now like shrinking. They're slowly shrinking over and over and over again. We see it constantly. People are not, I don't know if it's Trump that people don't like or if it's Elon that people don't like. What do you think it really is really throwing people off into the ick zone?
It's both, but here's the thing. You bring up a very valid and very good point. Elon Musk could be taking the bullets for Trump, and it could be intentional because we've seen Trump do this before. We ain't even brought up. Make sure you pull up something on the Signal Gate. We haven't been on the air since Signal Gate.
We haven't been on the air. You're right. Let me see what.
And so you got people who talking. He's going to throw them under the bus if stuff gets too ugly. Rest assured. And Trump's going to sit back like, I hire all the best people till I don't. And then when it comes down to it, it's going to be, oh wow. Will they make a decision to say no? Now, there's even conversation. I've seen Ellie Mistal and some others out there talking about. There's another sister out there who's a constitutional lawyer who's talking about there are real ways that Trump could be in office for a third term by running as the vice president under another presidential candidate and the presidential candidate resigning on day one. Now, what sucker would do that? Who knows? But there's
who would give up their opportunity to be president to do that?
Who knows? There's so much money flying around right now. It's so much ridiculous amounts of money that's flying around right now. Who knows? Someone says, I'm going to give you, half $1 trillion to go take this seat for 5 minutes and then give it up and go do whatever you want to do with your life. We're in a real dark place right now.
We are, and let's just stick to tariffs. I mean, I never thought I'd see the day where you and I are probably both agreeing with Rand Paul, but Rand Paul got his butt on Fox News and was just like, this is a bad idea. We should not. Tariffs have also led to political decimation, is what Paul told reporters. When William McKinley most famously put tariffs on in 1890, they lost 50% of their seats in the next election. When Senator Reed Smoot and William C. Hawley put on their tariffs in the early 1930s, we lost the House and the Senate for 60 years. So it's not only bad economically, it's also bad politically. And he's right. Didn't these types of tariffs lead us into the Great Depression?
Right. And this was long before. See, and here's the thing. They always like to say this was the greatest time or whatever. There's a big difference between 130 years ago, 100 years ago, right? We didn't have the ease and ability to say, I'm just going to go buy my stuff from Temu and buy all my products from overseas. We had to go to the local market and get everything we needed to do. It was very easy to be very insular in the United States. It ain't that easy right now. So what is his answer? We're going to tariff everybody. Tariff this and tariff that and tariff this and tariff that. While we got all these cars and vehicles that are full of parts from all over the North America, where we got
And it's not even
clothes on our
that.
back right now that I'm looking at
Thank
the back of
you.
the tag of this shirt right now, and it may say Vietnam, Cambodia, or wherever. It ain't gonna say made in the USA more than likely.
And guys, and I have to break it down to you. Let's say you are an avid Ross shopper because Ross is affordable. Ross clothes are cheap. A lot of Ross's clothes are coming from other manufacturers who use third-party manufacturers overseas. So if it's more expensive from the regular manufacturer when it was in the bigger store, and it goes down to the smaller box store, that price that used to be $6.99 for that shirt is now going up to $8.99 or $10.99 for that cheapo shirt. I'm wearing this
Right,
Ross shirt right now, we're all the time. This shirt cost me $5. I remember this
right,
shirt because I
right,
love it. This
right.
shirt is now going to cost me more money.
Of course it is.
And I don't think people are really processing these things. Even when you look at your manicures, your pedicures, those products are not made in the US. Those nail shops have to get it in. And to get it in, they got to pay more money and they pass that cost on to you.
It's very simple, home team. Anything that's made, if this cleaning cloth is made in Vietnam and before, you know, it's going to cost more. If it costs more to hit the water and to hit our shores, then it's going to cost more. But because the people who are bringing it in, not going to say, well, I'm just going to eat that. Why should I charge Kia more for that shirt because I like Kia and the other a million people I'm trying to sell this product to? No, they're going to pass it on. And there's not factories that are really being retrofitted to do that type of work. People are not running out of here and trying to do that type of work. And it's almost like it's wild because these people really think long term. I really think if they take the next 20 years for folks, another education cycle, that you have a bunch of kids who are low skilled workers who all of a sudden now they're back in the factories. They're probably somewhere, there's some psycho in that community of that Project 2025 folks that are saying, this is what we want. We want to take away education. We want to make people less smart so we can build factories and take it back to the industrial age where people are doing a lot of this manual labor.
And there's one part problem with that. Back in the day, people who were doing those manufacturing jobs were excited about $13 an hour, $15 an hour. That was back in the, I would say early 90s.
I'm talking 50 cents. The type of work they're looking for, people were happy to make $1 an hour.
I'm saying, let's go back to more modern times. In the 90s, if you were making $15 an hour at a factory, you were doing great. Your family was practically rich. These days, for a person to be getting compensated the way they want working in a factory, they're looking at $30+ an hour. They are. And if they're paying $30+ an hour for an employee, that cost of that one employee here in America is getting passed on to the consumer. It is.
Right.
So
right. And eventually somebody got to pay for it. If they do open these factories up, they're not going to work for $10 an hour. They're going to want that $30 an hour, which means that's more labor cost, which means that will be passed on to the rest of us.
Did you hear what they're trying to do in Florida? They're trying to do something very interesting in Florida, kind of disgusting. They are trying to pass a bill to change the law where 14-year-olds are allowed to work overnight shifts. Nope. Well, I told me and my brother were talking about this, and I was like, no parent would allow that to happen. He's like, think about these very, very poor families where the mom works all day and money still needs to be coming in. They're sending their child out to work because they can't afford anything else. And he is exactly right. My concern isn't even about the kid working overnight and having to go to school. That didn't even cross my mind. What crossed my mind, and Miguel knows this, at overnight shifts, it's a skeleton crew. It's probably one manager, 5 or 6 employees. It's not some big, robust and stuff. So your child could be getting harmed by that nighttime manager, some nighttime person. There's nobody for he or she to go to because there's nobody
I bet you if you look up the legal age for kids to separate from school in the state of Florida. I seem to remember it was 16. It used to be 16. They didn't have to go to school past 16. They're not looking at the average. It's 16, right? Okay. So they're not looking at that person working overnight and then going to school the next day. They're looking for that 16-year-old that says, I'm done with school. I'm going out into the workforce and I'm going to do whatever I can do to make a living. And they're looking to create more people like that, right? Because economically, you can pay these people the lowest bottom of the scale as far as paying them. You can maximize the work from them. And then you would think that, do you want to train them up to learn how to work the robotics? Because we know side by side with these laborers are going to be people who are going to be trying to manage robotics, right? Because we know the robots are going to be right there next to them. It's the fact that these folks will rationalize what is going on right now. I don't know where the bottom is for these people. I really do not know where the bottom is for these folks. So anyway, you keep going. I want to talk about what you want to talk about. There's a couple of things I want to talk about. Go ahead.
Well, you brought up Signal. I already got the story put up. The
Okay.
Pentagon launched an investigation to Pete Hegseth's use of Signal app after sensitive information leak. There was actually a hearing, a Senate hearing about this with Tulsi Gabbard, and I think it was Mike Waltz as well who sat there, and they kept saying, yes, this chat is real. Yes, it's really happened, but no sensitive information got out. The Inspector General of the Department of Defense is launching an investigation to Pentagon Secretary Pete Hegseth using use of the encrypted messaging app Signal to discuss sensitive information about military operations in Yemen. The investigation announced on Thursday follows a bipartisan request from the Senate Armed Services Committee after allegations emerged that highly precise and most likely classified intelligence was impending U.S. airstrikes in Yemen, including strikes timing and aircraft models had been shared in the Signal group chat. So for those of you who don't know, a U.S. journalist was accidentally added to the goofiest group chat ever and wrote a story about it. And in this group chat, it was Tulsi Gabbard, Pete Hegseth, the vice president, Mike Waltz, all discussing the airstrike that was going to be happening in Yemen, why it needed to happen, and why it was going to happen so soon. And he released a lot of the text messages. Some of them are classified information. There, like I said, there was a Senate hearing about it with Tulsi Gabbard, who said that it wasn't that serious. It wasn't serious information. But let's be real. Pete Hegseth is the problem. He has no business having this job at all whatsoever. He is a drunk. I personally believe, and tell me if I'm wrong, is one of those times he's a little drunk, a little after 7. The kids are maybe doing stuff with the wife or whatever, third wife. And he's like, well, I think this is going to be a great idea. Like, no, we should do this. Tap, tap, tap. And he sends his text message off. And they start having this conversation. I feel this was alcohol infused. What do you think?
I think these people are unserious. I think that really, man, like, and here's the crazy thing about it, right? The reporter says, I haven't posted most of what I saw.
Yeah.
Because I felt like I'm gonna be putting people in too much danger that are the actual soldiers and pilots that are out there fighting this conflict. He's like, I ain't even post the real stuff. I just post the fact that these dummies did it. Oh, it's fake news, and it wasn't a real big deal, and all of it is a big deal. You know what I mean? I'm sitting up here looking at people saying that if you go home and you're in the government and take home work to study for exams to advance yourself in your career, you're not supposed to take it away from work, and people have lost their careers over that. These rascals out here, I had never even heard of Signal.
No, thank you.
I'm like, what the hell is Signal? It's another one out there, and they're passing classified information and putting emojis and thumbs up and smiley faces and and eggplants and doggone Signal. Like, what's up? And you supposed to be the defense secretary, bro? Like, you supposed to be the director of intelligence and all these people, and y'all out there playing thumbsy wumsies with a Signal app? Like, bruh, I just look at this stuff and just say, if I'm in another country, I'm just saying it's just a matter of time before these dummies.
And even funnier, their response to this is always the same. Oh, the reporter, he's a liar. He's disgraced. I don't care if he was a former writer at Playboy, Playgirl, if he was writing scripts for porn flick. I don't care. Did this really happen? Did it? Did you guys really add
I'm sitting up here,
chat?
little old me. If somebody sends me a group chat and them numbers ain't in my phone, I ain't answering that stuff. I'm deleting it. I mean, I don't know you and you Mr. 770, whatever you, And you sitting up here with classified secrets, classified information. Yeah, this is crazy, man. I look at this stuff and I said, these people are so unserious. When you look at, the wrestling tycoon's wife as director of education, and it's so muddy that you sit back and you got Elon Musk out there with chainsaws and all this nonsense. It's so crazy. When Trump first hit the scene in 2011, when Barack Obama, they made fun of him at the press secretary dinner. And we thought that thing was going to go away. Lord have mercy.
I'm telling you, if we could go back and if I could go back in time right now, that's the one thing I would change. They could be like, well, you can go back in time and go do this, this, and this. I'm like, no, 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 no. I want to go to the White House Correspondents' Dinner
Right.
in 2016.
Yeah.
I know that's where I want to go. I just want to go there. I want to have a really nice conversation with Seth Meyers and Barack Obama, saying, "Hey, your little Trump jokes.
Yeah.
Let's not.
Let's not
Let's
do
just
that.
skip them."
Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
And it's so funny. A political entertainment commentator said something that really resonated with me because he was saying how a lot of people have asked me, "Do I want another black president?" He's like, "Absolutely not. Look what happened the first time. We had a black president, and the white people got so mad about it that they gave us Trump. And we are now getting out for racism and all these other things. I don't want that again. And I'm sorry, I agree with him. I don't want to go through this again. This is awful. We had one black president, and the entire world goes, nobody's earned anything. We can't have that.
We can't
black
have
people
that.
haven't earned anything. DEI is bad, and it's so woke, and all these terms that don't mean anything. And it's just like all from one black president who didn't even do anything bad. He was
just black. He just had the nerve to be black, and and wear a tan suit and be real cool and be married to his wife and act like he got some sense.
Act like he got some sense. Be married to his wife, got regular kids. Worst they got caught doing was smoking and wearing mini skirts, which whoop de doo. And he killed a bunch of terrorists. Like he killed several.
He did what the rest of these presidents do. They so. I just, you say that I don't want another black president, and I understand people who have that position to a degree. I just want and I wish I had a la 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 music. I just want just let the best people be the ones who get the job, right? Let the best people be in positions to do the work. If they black, if they're women, if they're gay, if you're the best at what you do, because I don't want to be dealing with every day what's going on in Washington. I don't want to be dealing with that stuff every day. I want to deal with what's going on with my business, my family business, and my business to make sure that I can take care of my family. All this other nonsense of they trying to make everybody take all these steps backwards and want to send black folks back to poverty is like, how wicked do you have to be that that's your mindset? It ain't just black people. Poor people, Hispanic people, brown people. It's all y'all. All y'all need to go back to where you came. We came from here. My family from North Carolina, Virginia. I ain't been there.
You mean my mama house in St. Pete? Where you sitting?
Right. Y'all brought us. Huh?
If things get any weirder, I'm starting an OnlyFans channel. That's my backup. That's my life backup plan. That plan is to have an OnlyFans.
And does Omar know that you talking about on Only? And what is your OnlyFans going to be about? What's it going to be about?
If things get any worse, it's going to be full everything.
Mary Joseph. All right, let's move on to something else that not that.
I have to go through one more serious story that.
I don't want to go serious yet. I want to talk about this, and I ain't gonna tell you what it is on the screen.
You bring up Kanye West.
I want to talk about this.
Oh, you want to go dumb.
So folks don't know the story.
Dumb.
Yeah. So the young man on the right, that's Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards, who plays for Minnesota Timberwolves, right here from Georgia, from Atlanta. And so he basically told this girl, I don't want to have no baby with you. Here's $1 million. Go have an abortion. So pay for it. And I'm gonna give you $1 million. But no, she was like, no, I think it was $100,000 he gave her for that. So now supposedly the rumor is that he said, okay, the baby is here, and now he's gonna pay for the full 18 years of child support up front. Here's $1 million, $80,000, or something crazy like that. $1,080,000 or whatever it. And I said to myself, young man, okay, if you think that one little check is going to keep this woman quiet for the next 18 years of your life, you are tripping. Because unless it's some amazing law in whatever state she's in, because my understanding, the girl got up, picked herself up, moved to California because they had the best laws in this situation. Why she moved to California. But what do you know about this story? Let me get your take on what's going on with this story.
She's a skank and a gold digger. She deserves everything that she's getting right now. That's where I stand. Anthony Edwards is how old?
24 maybe. Ballpark.
He's 24. How old do you think she is?
No clue. Let me see. I'm
She's
assuming.
almost 40.
No, she's not. She's not almost 40.
Bet me. Bet me.
She is not almost 40. Okay, he is 23. What is her name? I don't even know her name. See if you can find. I don't believe that girl is almost 40. I believe.
How old is Aisha Howard? The person that came up. Aisha Howard is 38 years old.
Wow.
Exactly. So you're a 38-year-old woman who doesn't know how condoms work all of a sudden. You have a son with little baby. So it seems like
Oh, this
you
is the
did this.
same. She's got babies by a rapper too. Oh
Yes,
wow.
she does. So you did
Yeah.
this on purpose. You are a gold digger. You're like, I'm not a gold digger. I just like somebody. No, you saw dollar signs on this boy's head. Now you're having to deal with the repercussions. And listen, this may be weird for a lot of people to hear me say, but when a man tells you that he doesn't want to be involved, you should stop fighting. This is what you signed up for. You kept this child. I'm all for that. I'm glad you kept your baby, but you just need to go off and raise your child by yourself. You should not be trying to make this man, one, be involved, two, pay you child support. I feel like it should be legal in the United States for a man to go, hey, you know what? I didn't really want this kid. I'm going to sign away my rights. I shouldn't be responsible for it because I told you in advance I didn't want to have kids. That may make me an awful woman. It may make me a pick me, but I think it's very bizarre. This 38-year-old woman got pregnant by this child. If he wasn't an NBA player, would she have done this? If he was an NBA player?
That's a whole Andre size crazy ass.
She
uh,
is old as hell, Andre. You are right. She is my age. I just turned 40. I'd
yeah.
be darned if I ever go have sex once Omar goes to glory. If I ever have sex with somebody who is 24, 24, what can you do for me?
Get that check.
Exactly.
That's a whole new spin. I didn't know that she was one. She already had a baby by a rapper, so she already got that little. She already got herself a little paper. It's just some wildness in these streets, man.
But she gets offended. She's online saying, I read the comments and I'm offended you guys call me a gold digger. Girl, what are we supposed to call you? The same thing with Drea Michelle from Basketball Wives. What are we supposed to call y'all old hoes who do this? What would you like us to call you?
Oh my god. These people is crazy, man. I just sit back and it gets wilder and wilder and wilder and wilder and wilder. We are
One more thing, and then I'll wrap my whole rant up. And they always say the same thing. Oh, you wanted me to kill my baby? Is that what you wanted me to do? No, stupid. What we want you to do is to be quiet and go raise your baby over there. We don't want to hear about it. We don't care you went court for custody for a man who don't want you, didn't want to have his baby, told you multiple times through text messages. You keep telling us he said he didn't want the baby. Why are you, what do you want from us?
and the shameful part of all that is that this kid has got to is gonna grow up and all this stuff it lives. This stuff it lives, man. It's gonna be out there for
Listen,
forever and a
ladies,
day.
gold digger tip. Once you are over 35, 35 is the gold digger cutoff age. Again, experience here. Listen to me. 35 years old is the cutoff age for you not using condoms. If you get pregnant after 35 by somebody famous and or wealthy, you get nothing. You just look dumb. You just look dumb.
Yeah, I don't know, man. As I serenade you with EPMD's Gold Digger, I just just got me.
I've been giving gold digger tips since we started this show. You guys gotta start listening to me. You're only good in your gold digger phase.
Let me go to one shot. Give your Gold Digger tips, Kia. Your
Cool.
camera's bugging.
You're only good in your gold digger phase from the age of 20 to 30. Those are your golden years for gold digging. Once you get to 30, 35, it needs to be only for sex only and monetary gifts. If you got the nerve to get pregnant, you deal with what you get. If you're still gold digging and haven't found your athlete or wealthy person up to 35, either you've got bad cookie or you just weren't built for this lifestyle. You're asking for too much. Like I said, when Omar goes to glory, hopefully not anytime soon, I will get back on my gold digger stuff and I will know the rules. Monetary gifts, pay for my mortgage. We got a good time. And that's it.
And that is your Gold Diggerology from Kia. My God, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. I feel like I need to go. We need to change the pace. All right. What else you got? Let me see what else we got on our little list right here.
You want to stick to the funny?
Man, let's just go. Just go.
Kanye West did his interview with academics.
Two nut jobs in one place. And Did you have that on? Yeah, you do have. Did he have a red outfit too? I know I saw the
Wait,
black
I'm trying to
outfit.
find the picture.
I know he had a black outfit. So he has his
I'm just gonna go
Black
to
Klans outfit that he does his interview with. I don't know how people, you know, it's so funny. I put up a post the other day, and that's a different conversation. But there's certain people out here. I don't know how people give these people so much time and energy, because it's just like these nut jobs, man. I just sit back and just watch them.
And honestly, more power to academics, because I didn't realize that academics had to fly to Japan to
What
do
else he
this
got to
interview.
do? What else he got to do? He ain't got nothing else to do. If Kanye
Uh,
West said meet me in Japan, he gonna get on the fest thing smoking to Japan, and now, you know, now he's got us on the show, pulling up
all
the
right, here we
pictures of
go.
him acting a
Go ahead and
damn
share my
fool.
screen. So
That my friends is Kanye West in this black hood, and
here's what makes this interview even weirder. So academics goes and knocks on Kanye's door. Kanye door answers the door in a Sean John shirt and a swastika chain. And academics was mildly cool with this. Then he's talking to him. He's like, "I'll be right back," and he came back out in this.
So you actually watched this? You watched this whole thing? You watched this whole thing?
I didn't watch the whole thing because I don't want to admit to that, because that would have been a bridge too far. Where did you get air horns from?
I got everything. I got it. Got it all. Just don't use it like I should.
Okay. So yeah, recently in an interview with YouTuber DJ Academics, Kanye appeared in an all-black outfit with a robe and hood. Let's call it what it is, y'all. It's not a robe and hood. It's a Klansman
outfit. It's a Klan outfit. It's a Klan outfit.
Which has been controversial. Tyler promotes white supremacy. Additionally, he wore, like I said, the swastika necklace. He wore, he just said a lot of crazy stuff. And he kept using the F word, the derogatory word for gay people, calling everybody the F word. But he said a lot of inappropriate comments about Kim Kardashian. If you have been a fan of Life
breaking news, breaking news, breaking news.
Can I finish, please?
Nope.
You sure as hell watched the whole thing. I did not. You weren't even home. Like, how do you know? Whatever. Ignore my husband. He's more concerned about this and the fact that I said I was going to leave, like, when he dies. Or, like,
you know you ain't going no damn where. Oh, that's a bunch of nonsense. That's podcast talk. You ain't going nowhere.
The most controversial part about this, and if you listen to our show for a very long time, you know I'm not a fan of the Kardashians, but the one thing I can say about Kim is that she's a good mother. She's a hands-on mother. He actually got in this interview and said that.
How you know that? You don't know that.
She seems like a good mom.
Okay.
Northwest may be weird, but she seems like a well-adjusted, famous kid so far, so whatever. The reason why I bring it up is because in this interview, he said that he wished he had never had kids with with Kim, and that he knew after 3 months he didn't want to have kids with Kim. That would float if you didn't hire a surrogate for the next 3 children you had with her. Like, he said such awful things about her. And she's never gone out publicly and been negative about him. She's always tried to be even keel, and he always is posting their text messages and stuff. If I was Kim, I would be like, you will never see your kids ever again. After all of these antics, I mean, Miguel, wouldn't you be the same way?
You know that I have some personal experience in this type of stuff. Somebody has to be the sane one, right? And no matter how difficult it may be, no matter how you want to respond, somebody has to deal with this stuff because the children do not deserve it. Now, when it's all said and done, you hear me say this often. There ain't no fruit there. If she's as nutty as he's nutty, that just keeps the nonsense in there. And ain't nobody more buying them little tight pants and stuff that Kim Kardashian is. Them little Skims. What do y'all call them things she's selling?
They're Skims. They do very well. Skims do really well.
Right.
I don't buy them. I like breathing, so I like breathing them in shapewear. So I don't buy Skims.
Point being is that there's a whole lot of women to be like, well, Kim, you just as crazy as he is. I ain't buying the little shapewear and all that stuff. She's sitting back and saying, I'm making too much money making these little crappy TV shows and selling these little tight drawers. Let Kanye act a fool over there. I can't.
But no, it's harming the children. I mean, he was advocating for Northwest to be in a Diddy video, and she was like, no, I own her trademark, and I don't want her in a Diddy music video. Like, it's not okay. You're saying you didn't want to have kids. It's stuff that the kids are going to hear, and it's going to have an effect on them. Kim doesn't get affected. She's just annoyed. But the kid's gonna be like, so wait, you didn't want to have us?
The great thing, as you mentioned, the great thing is that they're not going to have a lot of content out there in the world when they get to be old enough to really search on their own. That their mama let them be in the middle of that nonsense, and so we got to give her due for that, because when it's all said and done, Kanye could have had them out there looking at plump. How many kids they got? 3 kids, and you say she physically. How many kids they got?
Yeah, 4.
How many did she birth personally?
1, and that was a really bad pregnancy. Apparently, like she almost lost North because I guess the swelling or the preeclampsia. She had preeclampsia.
Preeclampsia.
So she has it's North, Saint, Chicago, and Psalm. Psalms? Psalm? I don't know. Is it got an S or no S? I don't know, but his name is Psalm.
I don't know. You know, I think, you know, and he came out, we haven't done a show in a couple of weeks. So then he came out, I guess he wanted to talk. That's so funny. Another situation, like Kim, like Jay-Z acts like he's Kim Kardashian, because every time that Kanye comes out and says something crazy, Jay-Z don't ever respond. Jay-Z somewhere over there smoking a cigar like, that nigga crazy.
He called their children the R word. I'm not going to say it on here because it's going to get posted on YouTube. Right. He called it the R word. Beyonce's a better woman than I'll ever be. I may not talk to you on social media or call my lawyers. If you call my children the R word, I'm getting in my car. I'm pulling my hoodie up and I'm banging on your baby mama's door and be like, yo, so we're both famous, so this is not going to get out nowhere, but I'm about to beat the dog crap out of you because you're letting your man talk about my kids online. And like, I know you're not going to even live.
We don't even know where Kanye lays his head. Every time we see him, his wife don't have no clothes on. He got big ugly shoes on or some he's a nut job. And you sit back and you say, you know what's so funny? I was riding in the car and Layla started talking about, you know, Kanye West or whatever. I said, baby, I only listen to old Kanye. And she was like, old Kanye, what's that mean? She's 12.
I know, but old Kanye was the good Kanye.
Right. What
was the last good Kanye album? 808s and Heartbreaks?
I was done before that. Now,
really?
Yeah. I'm sure there's a couple things on 808 and Heartbreak I probably like and ain't paid much attention to it, but I was done long for that. I think I might have lasted 2, maybe 3 albums with Kanye. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a song he put out a couple years back with him, and this was after DMX passed away. It was him, DMX, and Andre 3000, which the Donda record. It's amazing. It's a very emotional record because it closes out with DMX. It's a sound with him talking to his daughter. DMX had already passed away, but Kanye musically is an absolute genius. But
now that I'm looking at it, I wasn't done at 808 and Heartbreaks. I listened to all his Mike Dark, Beautiful Twisted Fantasy. I have songs off of that on my phone. Watch the Throne, Cruel Summer. Mm-hmm. It was when he started that Yeezus mess that I was like, I'm done.
Yeezus.
I had to say it like that. Yeezus.
Right. Yeah, no, and the Jay-Z Kanye joint, you know, N-Words in Paris, you know, that's an entertaining record. But for the most part, man, especially when he got on his solo tip, I seem to remember it was a video or a performance where it was like he was like the devil standing on the mountains, and I think it might have been Power. It might have been the song Power. He did. Nobody said so much power. Blah blah. He was performing something. I said, that nigga right there has lost his effing mind. I was like, nah.
Everybody keeps saying since he lost his mom, he has gone off the deep end. And I don't know if it's gone off the deep end or I feel like his mom, like all moms do. All moms are able to manage their children no matter what age they are. I mean, I'm 40 years old and my mom can still, Omar could call my mom, but like she's having a really bad manic episode or she's not okay. And my mom would call me and be able to bring me back to center. And she doesn't have anybody to bring him back to center. That white family, the Kardashians, they're not able to bring no black man back to center.
They're not centered. So how they going to bring anybody else back centered? Look at their mama. You want to talk about somebody who was a gold digger. Come on, man. That what's her name? Chris. What's her name?
And why is she with Corey Gamble? He ain't got no money.
Who is Corey Gamble?
Her man for the past 9 years. The black man who's like 10, 15 years younger than her. Don't pay him crickets.
No idea who no damn Corey Gamble is. I can't even half remember her name. Chris Jenner? And then
it's Jenner.
I don't know, man. All right.
So we are about to. Well, one more serious story before we wrap up the show. So much stuff is going on. We talked about this happening. I talked about this with the Luigi incident.
Mm-hmm.
And our man accused of walking into a Walgreens location in California and shooting an employee to death this week allegedly had a grudge against corporate pharmacies. Madeira police told US Today that Narciso Gallardo Fernandez, 30, is accused of shooting store employee Eric Velasquez, 34, on Monday. The shooting appeared to be random, and there were no power relationship between the two men. This was my concern. If you are okay with Luigi, you are okay with this. Luigi walked to the CEO of United Healthcare and shot him point blank range after planning it. Even though the CEO died, they're replacing with a new person. This gentleman has walked into a Walgreens and shot an employee who probably didn't even have the code to get you cigarettes out the box,
Right.
and shot and killed this man,
Right.
because of a grudge against pharmacies. So
Right.
how far does this go, ladies and gentlemen?
Right. How far does it go? I wasn't, when everybody was all talking about Luigi and and killing it. None of this stuff. Killing people randomly for no reason, even if you think they got, it's not okay.
No,
these people who feel like they're excited about this type of stuff and think that, oh, this is the comeuppance. That person sitting up there that stands there, when I walk into this Walgreens around the corner from my house, their only job is to scan it and to ask me to put my phone number in there so I can get some points off of my purchase. They ain't got nothing in the world to do with how Walgreens is ran.
No.
Nothing. And that man lost his life. Right? But we are creating this community, and our mentality is so broken. We are in a mental health crisis as a nation. We are in a mental health crisis as a nation. And so we got to make sure we take care of our own.
Vigilantism.
Mm-hmm. Say again?
We're condoning vigilantism. I mean, we're condoning Black Lives Matter protests, vandalizing stuff.
Come on,
we're
man.
Condoning. Well, I'm going. Let me go down the line.
Go ahead.
We're condoning Black Lives Matter vandalizing stuff because it's for a good cause. Then we condone, some people are condoning what's happening at the Capitol. Oh, it's because they were really, really passionate. They didn't mean to, and da-da-da-da. We're condoning that. We're condoning Luigi because, he has a point. So are we condoning this? Who shot a regular walk? Like, where does the condoning and rationalizing stop? That's my rant.
Yeah, Chuck Schumer had FBI Director Patel, and he asked him, he said, turn around and look at those Capitol Police and tell them, are you proud of the people who attacked their colleagues January 6th? The people who are protecting you right now.
That man looks so crazy. He'd just be like this. Like,
but right now, if he decided that he wanted to put you or I under a scope and send somebody to our door, like you've got a situation where the student was snatched up at a college.
Yeah.
People walking up and putting masks on and then pulling out a badge. How cowardly is that?
Yeah.
You walking up with a baseball cap, pulling out a badge because, oh, you don't want people to know your face so they don't harass you. When all this girl did was write an op-ed in a school newspaper. Yeah. This is nuts what we're dealing with, right? But thank God for courageous people like this sister here. Because Jasmine, she, say what you want to say, and she getting a little, but she bringing the smoke as much as she can.
More Democrats need to be like. Jasmine doesn't care. We need to stop caring. We need to look at Lauren Breitbart when she gets confused about Roger Stone and Oliver Stone in Senate hearing. Did you see that?
No.
To be like, you're dumb. Like, you're dumb. You're
but the
really
people
dumb.
in Colorado voted her in. And it's representative of government that we have. All right, moving on. Before we get about here, Val Kilmer passed away. What's your favorite Val Kilmer role?
Okay, that's hard.
It's real easy.
Let me just double check something. So it's hard for me because I liked him in Batman. Most people didn't, whatever. I also liked him. Was it Dr. Zhivago?
I don't know what that is.
You don't remember Dr. Zhivago? Was he in Dr. Zhivago? Wait, what was the island where the animals talk?
Say again.
What was the movie? Hold on. Where he made people into animals or whatever that was. Was that Dr. Zhivago?
When I think about,
people mixed up. Either way, I liked him in Batman. I also, of course, loved him in Top Gun. And I loved him in Top Gun, the second one, more than the first one because he was such a poignant character and all he did was type on the computer and it was still beautiful. What about you?
Here's my favorite.
I wasn't. And this time,
Tombstone.
He in.
All right, longer. Let's do it.
Him in Tombstone is one of my favorite cowboy flicks, and I don't watch a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
But him in Tombstone was amazing. He's played some other amazing roles, but to me, that was him. So they say he wasn't doing very well towards the end of his life, and so
no, he actually he got pneumonia, and because his body was already immunocompromised because of the throat cancer, that is why he passed away. And he's been dealing with throat cancer for the past 9 years. If you didn't watch the second Top Gun, notice that he didn't speak, and his voice had to be digitalized because he couldn't speak. But he still was very good in that movie, typing on the computer, and his facial expressions and the compassion he showed was. He was just a very good actor.
Very, very good actor. So what else you want to talk about before we get out of here?
What are you watching? My favorite movie was The Island of Dr. Moreau. That is the when he played the doctor who was making people into animals. Do you remember that? Don't you play? You don't remember that movie?
No. We have different tastes in movies like that, and I'm not surprised that that's what you liked. Not surprised at all.
I don't like how that sounded. That sounded like a dick.
All right.
Anyway, what are you watching?
I'm not watching much right now. I'm telling you. But we're trying to watch Dope Thief. We've watched like the first episode or two of that. And I forget the brother's name, but he was in Atlanta and the show Atlanta. And I forget his name right now, but everybody knows him. Heavyset guy from Atlanta. But he's playing. They're kind of like con artists who act like they're DEA agents and they go rob people, and then the first episode they get into some deep crap. And so I think we're only on episode 2. What did we finish recently? We're trying to get back into Surface. Trace, like, I don't know. It's kind of boring out here. You just don't like they don't change the storyline and you ain't digging it like that. We'll see. Kanan, we're watching Kanan. I know you don't watch Kanan, but we're watching Kanan. Nope, and you had no cricket sound to make. Nope. What you watching?
Look at this. This is all the sound I have. This tiny little.
What is that over there? What are you watching?
I am watching The Residence. I watched The Residence. Omar didn't want to watch it.
Who's in that? Who is in that? What's going on with that show? What's the deal?
Let me get you the people. It's actually a lot of people that you would like. Let me just get the people. So it's Uza Aduba. You know Uza Aduba from
Big Eyes, the big old eyes.
Orange is the New Black.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, Crazy Eyes. Also, it's Kylie Minogue in it for whatever reason. She just happens to pop up. And then Giancarlo Esposito. You know who Giancarlo is.
He's getting so much work right now. My God, Giancarlo Esposito is getting so much work because he was in the latest Marvel movie. He was a character in that, and he's got So, but go ahead.
Bronson Pinochet is in there. You would know him from the show from back in the day. And then Susan Kelchi Watson, who was in This Is Us. She was in that as well. It's a very good series. It is a 8-episode series about a murder in the White House. Very good. Very well done watching that. Me and Omar are about to queue up Mobland with Pierce Bronson. Not Pierce Bronson.
Mobland. I think I've seen something about that.
I think it's Bronson, who's playing a mob boss. It also has Helen Mirren in it. Helen Mirren is a great actress because she's to be doing stuff to do stuff. It's never like, I need the paycheck so bad. It's like, this seems like fun, so why not? I don't have anything else to do.
She's a skinny blonde chick with the English accent, British accent, right?
Yes, and she's been in a lot of stuff. She's now doing Fast and Furious films. Again, for no reason. You're in knighthood.
She's getting a check. She's building her legacy. So it is what it is. All right, y'all. We appreciate y'all. No show on this coming Monday. Make sure you check out the clips. Make sure you share them. We'll have a few of them out there over the weekend. And before I get up out of here, I got to get a shout out to my mans. I am not going to be here Monday because my brother, one of my younger brothers, passed away suddenly a week ago. Half ago, and so we're gonna have a celebration of life for him next Monday. Amazing singer. If you are in the DC area, you may have seen him. Earl and Cash. Earl is my brother. Cash is my sister. They used to do a lot of clubs and different things in DC, and the pain is done. My brother was dealing with a lot for a long time, and so now he is with the ancestors. So I won't be here next week. I'll be celebrating my man, and then I'll be back the week after that. So we appreciate y'all. Peace and love. God bless.